Right, good morning everyone. Good to see you for your flow. Thank you for getting up out of bed, although I already know that some of you were up much earlier for the Anzac service this morning. Thank you. Vix. I was thinking of Cass. How are you feeling? Good. We're going to be doing a lot of spinal work today. So spinal, bit of hamstring love as well, a lot of spinal twisting. We're going to be focusing on, because when you twist, you can twist primarily from the upper thoracic, and generally most of us will find that the easier place to twist from, so this upper thoracic area. For me, because I have a lot of back tightness from a combination of breastfeeding, leaning over to pick up Leo, and even those of us who sit, we find that that upper back can be quite tight. We're also, of course, going to be twisting into the lower thoracic a little bit with certain exercises. So we're going to be working through the whole spine. That's all I need to tell you, apart from maybe, could you have today a strap or a tie of your robe or something like that, so we can use it for a little bit of stretching, even if you have a stretchy band, whatever's handy. And if you need a block, that might be a really good idea as well. So yeah, great guys, let's get started. I do want you on your backs today, that's where I like to start. So coming onto your back, so beautiful. You'll come down onto your back, and as for your legs, really position them however is most comfortable. Today it's not essential that your legs are in reclined butterfly, or whether they're bent with the soles of the feet on the floor, or whether they're stretched out. Your leg position is quite irrelevant today. I want you to just find something that's quite comfortable. So allow your shoulders to relax into the floor. I want you to take a big inhale through your nose, release through your mouth, and again, inhale, release, once more in, release, and now I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. So just allowing that breath to reach a little bit deeper down into the lower lungs. Perhaps your belly seems to inflate as you breathe in, and deflate as you breathe out. So the count today that I'm going to give you as you keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose is in for 4, a pause for 4, out for 6, and pause for 2. And don't worry if at first the out for 6 is a little bit uncomfortable. It comes with time and practice, and you'll get more used to it. Exhaling the air through the nose. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause, 2, in, pause, out, pause, breathe in. So I want you to allow that breath now to become a more natural, comfortable rhythm. Throughout the practice today, as we move through twists, sometimes there is a tendency to hold the breath or to constrict the breath unintentionally. And what I want you to be really mindful of today is the moments where you can use the pauses in the breath to aid the practice. So not unintentional holding of the breath, So when we're in balance poses, because we will be working toward a revolve half moon today, I want you to be very conscious of plenty of breathing. When we're in certain transitions or certain postures that require a little bit of a pause, I'll give you an idea of when a retention might be handy. So when you're ready, bring your knees in towards each other and in towards your chest and hug your legs in. And as you hug the legs in, any movement that might feel inviting, you can feel free to take. Beautiful. From here, I want you to take your strap by your side. So taking that strap, hooking it over your right foot and stretching your right leg up toward the ceiling. And just allow your shoulders to relax back down toward the earth. Yes, if you can, your elbows, just as Vix has done there. And it doesn't matter whether your left knee is bent with the sole of the foot flat on the floor or whether that left leg stretches out along the floor. Really just go wherever feels the most stable and the most comfortable. And start working through the foot and the ankles. You might inhale and ballet point through the foot. You might just roll up. Go for it, Vix, go for it. So whether you're pointing, flexing, whether you're rolling, just mobilizing that ankle. And this kind of movement is really important for standing balances. And even revolved trikonasana, I remember when I was quite early on in my practice, and when I came into a pose like revolved trikonasana, revolved pyramid, I really got a surprise at how much it was a stability pose. And so the ankles do work quite a bit in that stability. So we're going to work for a twist from here. Straps into your left hand, your right arm reaches out to the right side of the space and rotate. So that leg can come as low as is comfortable, whether it hovers off the floor, whether it touches the floor, that's really up to you. But I do ask you today, can you let that right shoulder connect back into the floor, that right shoulder blade? And now can you bring your attention down the right side of your body? So Vix, you might even demo this. Your right hip, if there's a tendency for your right side waist to be crunched or your right hip to tip up toward your shoulder, I want you to now really wrap your right hip down away from your shoulder, lengthening the right side of your body. So really getting the right side of your body as long as you can. So the right side of your waist, or the right waist, is as long as the left waist. Beautiful. Take one more full breath in. Long breath out. And then on the inhale, bring that leg back to center. Very good. And when you're ready, easy switch today. Left foot hooks in the strap and right foot releases. And you're just starting with those hamstrings, so you might just have a gentle stretch there. Hi, Deb, welcome. You might work through the foot a little bit. You've come in perfect time, Deb. We've just done a little bit of hammies and a bit of pranayama. So as you're working through the hamstrings, you might want to roll through the ankle a bit, or inhale and point, exhale and flex. Just noticing how it feels to wake up through that ankle joint. And don't worry if you're like me and you get a lot of clicking. That's pretty normal. And then whenever you're ready, you shift toward that twist, straps to the right hand, the left arm reaches out to the left side of the space and go for it. You rotate. So as you're rotating here, it doesn't matter if that left foot touches the floor, hovers off the floor, it's irrelevant. I'm interested in the torsion or the pull between your upper body and lower body. So really trying to press that left shoulder blade down into the floor while you feel that leg pulling to the opposite side of the room. Because that's what a twist is. It's the body moving in opposing directions, and that's what gets the most intense torsion or twist at center, is if those opposite body parts are pulled as much as possible to the opposite side of the space. That's all the twist is. Those of you who are noticing that left hip has crept up or hitched up, you might want to roll that left hip down away from your shoulder to lengthen your left side body. It's not a habit for everyone. Even I'm looking at Vicky's body, and that's not really a habit for her. She's actually used to keeping the torso really long in the twist. She's very conscious of it. Whereas in my personal practice, I'm very good at twisting with my hips. Yeah, she just did a good example of it. So she's wrapped that hip down beautifully. Well done, everybody. Leg back through center. And in your own time, you can take that strap off the foot, pop that somewhere behind your head perhaps, bend your knees in towards your body. Very good. Lovely. We are just going to do one more little bit of an exercise here. So we're going to do a little bit of crow and side crow on our back. So I want you from here to bring your toes to touch. That's it. Wing the knees out slightly. That's it. Beautiful. Palms to the ceiling. You got it, Vix. So those arms lengthening. Now chin tucks toward the chest and tuck in. Sasha, you can skip this one if you like. Try and bring those knees to above your elbows. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. And noticing where the neck is comfy, whether that chin is tucked in or whether the gaze up is up toward the hands. Take an inhale at center. Exhale, twist to the right. So you're rotating the torso, squeeze the thighs together now. Yes, that's it. Inhale, crow at center, split the knees. That's it. And other side, exhale. Inhale at center, knees split. Exhale, knees squeeze together, rotate. Inhale at center, knees split. Exhale, rotate, knees squeeze. Beautiful. Back to center, last crow. And relax head, neck and shoulders. And just make sure, relax your arms too. And just notice if you've picked up any tension in that neck. Maybe gently roll the head from side to side. Very good. That'll do us. Let's take our time to rock and roll over. Hands and knees is where you're headed. So take your time. No rush. The wrists will come under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. I know all of you. I've even just checked in with Zoom, and I know all of you are familiar practitioners. I want you to wake up your spine in any which way you see fit. So do you want to do a familiar cat-cow? Do you want to do rolling cat-cow? Do you want to, yes, move that cat-cow in bigger circles? I just want you to get comfy mobilizing your spine. Whether the neck comes in, focus on your breath. Get that back moving. Today is a lot about spinal mobility. And just a couple more rounds of breath exploring that spinal motion. And it'll just be whenever you're ready to come back to a neutral spine. We're going to pulse thread the needle 3 times. Inhale, right arm reaches up, open up. And exhale, thread through. Right shoulder, side of the head, touch the floor. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, open. And exhale, thread. Now settle in for this one. Right shoulder, right side of the head to the floor. Now what you do with your left arm, entirely up to you. Yes, I do recommend lengthening that left arm out beyond the top of your mat. Maybe it's your fingertips on the floor. Vicky's doing a beautiful example of that. But if you prefer, you can, of course, just keep pressing that left hand into the floor for leverage, or you could be bound, whatever feels right for you. Again, I want you to notice, has your left hip hitched toward the top of the mat? Yeah, can you wrap that left hip back away from the top of the mat? So your left waist is just as long as the right, equally long. Beautiful. One more full breath. On your next exhale, push the left hand into the floor. And on your inhale, right arm reaches up, opening up through the torso. And hand to the floor. Lovely. Second side. Inhale, left arm reaches up and open. Exhale, thread through for 1. Inhale to open. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread through. And then you modify as you wish. So if you're someone who comes in to thread the needle and you just find, I just don't get anything out of this, I want you to later on, once this practice is done and when you see it up on the Facebook page, can you write a comment underneath that this video, that you don't feel sensation in this posture. What I want you to focus on is the more leverage or pull of the body in different directions. So really pushing that left shoulder down into the floor and really trying to lever open the shoulder blades. And if you don't get much sensation, I'm going to do a little bit of a toot later. Yeah, nice, Vicky. Beautiful variation. She's now levering a bit more, her hand into the floor to get more stretch. Well done. Unravel when you're ready. Right hand into the floor. Inhale, left arm opens up. And left hand to the earth. And a little bit of cat-cow perhaps to just thank the spine. Nice. And whenever you're ready, down dog is the destination. And of course, I don't mind if you're heading through a brief child's pose first, if that's what you need, but down dog is our gradual destination. And you might want to be working a little bit of pedaling out the feet or any movement that feels good. The fingers spread nice and wide, especially your pointer, your index finger pressing down into the mat. I'm going to do a little bit of swiveling here today. So come back into a neutral down dog position. And I want you to rise up very high onto the balls of your feet and spin all 10 toes to the right. So you're going to swivel. That's it. Bend the knees. That's it. And then swivel the feet. That's it. Exactly, Vicky. So you're just using, and that was a very clinical way to talk it through. Really just follow your instinct to be twisting through the spine and mobilizing from side to side. That's it. Swiveling from side to side and just going where you can find sensation, where it's useful. Nice. And when you're ready, back to center. Walking your hands in your own time to the back of your yoga mat. And taking a half lift, inhale, and exhale, you fold. And let your head hang, neck is soft, knees are soft. And it doesn't matter what you wish to do with your arms here, just really going where it feels appealing, appropriate. How's your breath? Nice, lovely, Vix, good choice. Just taking one more full deep breath. And then in your own time, releasing the hands, rolling up through standing, arms reach up and wide. Inhale, good morning. And exhale, you fold. Walking your hands forward, plank position. So coming into that plank, feet to touch. If this is a little strong, I want you to do the same thing on your knees. From here, rolling onto the outside blade of your left foot, stacking right foot on top, and both hands stay in connection with the floor. So it's not side plank. You can see Vicky's doing a perfect example here of being evenly weighted in the hands and getting a good spinal twist. Good. Back through center, inhale, and rolling onto the outside blade of right foot, stacked left foot on top, even weight in the hands. Hopefully this starts to wake up the torso, wake up your breathing for 3, 2, back through center, knees to the floor, and slowly lower belly all the way down to the earth. Low cobra, inhale, chest rolls back, good lift. And exhale, lower. 2 more times, inhale, lift, lengthen, long neck, and exhale, lower. Once more, inhale, lift and lengthen. Now this time, hands might hover off the floor. We need to strengthen the back line today. It's important for where we're headed. Maybe now the hands fly by your hips. The feet lift as well, Shalabhasana, locust, and only optional if you wish to clasp the hands behind the back, roll the shoulders back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and yes, lengthen that neck. Perfect. For 3, for 2, and release. Let the hands drop, let the head drop, and maybe even just wiggle the booty from side to side. We're going to do a little bit of rolling cobra or striking cobra. Hands off the edge of your mat. Lift the ribs up off the earth. Looking over the right shoulder, your inhale. Exhale, drop. You draw that semicircle shape as you inhale, lift and look over the left shoulder. And exhale, lower. So you're just working that spinal mobility again. And some of you will work just from side to side. Some of you will go all the way around in circles or get the neck involved. I just want you to mobilize your back and feel the sides of the back waking up. Good work. Just a few more breaths here. Wonderful. When you're ready, child's pose. Hands by the chest, bottom to heels, and just lengthening back through the spine. So we've really taken a bit of time to mobilize the body, to awaken parts of the body, and now we're starting to bring it into flow and into movement. So taking one more full deep breath into your back. Let it go.
Wonderful. Down dog when you are ready. From your downward facing dog, rippling forward through plank, inhale, knees on or off the floor, chaturanga, back bend of choice, downward facing dog. Lovely. From your down dog, shift the gaze toward the hands, your first Utkatasana, chair pose, walk, step, hop, up to you. So as you come into that Utkatasana, today I let you choose your arms. Where does it feel right? Does it feel good in front? Palms up, boxed arms, hands at heart, irrelevant. Find your seat, breathe into your back. For 3, for 2, forward fold. Sweep the hands behind you, clasp the hands, stretch out your shoulders. For 3, for 2, and release. Sweep the hands past the feet, reach up, light extension, and exhale, fold. Half lift, in breath, step or float back, full vinyasa. Beautiful. From your downward facing dog, inhale, your right leg lifts up. Do bend your knee, peel open the hip, 3-legged dog. And for those of you joining me for the 9:30 today, the release, we are going to explore the difference between bending the knee first or doing it second. So I want you to observe that hip opening, breathe, take an inhale, knee to nose, your exhale. Kick back, in breath. Knee to touch your right bicep. Exhale. Kick back, in breath. And knee to your left, fallen triangle. You thread the foot through, left hand reaches up for 3, for 2. Now bring that left hand to the floor. Now I want you to just hold there for a moment. We're not going full corkscrew yet, Vix. I want you to just observe that spinal twist as you're working here. For 3, both hands on the floor. For 2, push into the floor, belly pulls up, kick the right leg up and back. Good. Sometimes you need to adjust the feet. Bring the foot through, kneeling lunge, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. So in that Anjaneyasana, the arms reach up, the shoulders drop away from the ears, and breathe. Lovely. So we're going to do a little bit of open twisting. So from here, you're going to work first left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, back up. And exhale to the right. Good. Inhale up. And exhale left. Inhale up. And the other side. Beautiful. Now this one we hold a little longer, feeling that expression of opening. So this is working perhaps a little bit more into the upper thoracic. So working, opening up in that upper back or the upper thoracic between the shoulder blades. From here, hands come to the heart. And twist. So you're going to keep the twist. Good. So you're going to now have that elbow hooking over the knee somewhat. And yes, getting some leverage here, whether your palms stay connected or whether you're working fist to palm. Go there, Vix. That was perfect. Or whether you're working fist to palm as Vix is doing here. So just working through that spine. For 3. For 2. Beautiful. Both hands come to frame the foot for a moment. We're going to enter one more twist, but it's ever so brief. Left fingertips stay on the floor. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. And we're going to work a rolling sequence here, but straightening out the hamstring as we do it. So sweeping that hand now to the back of the room, straightening out through the hamstring. Yes, that's it. So you're going to be rolling into, so bend into that front knee, Vix. That's it. And sweep forward. And then exhale, roll back. Good. Inhale, you bend. Exhale, open and roll back. So you're trying to mobilize that shoulder as much as you can. Vix is now in a lovely rhythm of opening up through that spine, opening up through that hamstring, or hamstrings, pardon me. So as you're working, because we are getting into more than one here. So beautiful, opening up through that torso. Lovely. So the next time you straighten up through those hamstrings, lovely, we are going to settle in and keep that twist. So if you find you need to, yes, adjust onto your fingertips or even use a block under the hand, you can. And yes, what you do with that right hand is up to you. You can bring hand to the lower back. You can keep the hand reaching to ceiling. This is interesting enough, having your left fingertips stacked under your left shoulder. But if you want something a little more interesting, you can even move your left hand to the outside of your right leg. So you press the back of your palm to the left hand. That's it. Beautiful. So you can even press the back of the hand into the leg. Good. That's it. So you just get slightly deeper into the twist for 3, for 2. Well done, well done. Walking those hands back forward. Wiggle your right foot outside your right hand. We work into a low lizard lunge. And just noticing how the hips respond to the sensation of sinking deep into the hips. So your choice here, if you wish to stick with this position, or if you want to work bending the left knee, taking hold of that left foot with your right hand, and working into, a little bit of that monkey grip. So just lengthening out through the hip flexors, through the quad, and yes, adding a little bit of a twist into the motion. For 3. Nice. Go there, Vix, if you want to lengthen out that leg. Go there. Ho, ho, ho. Good morning, Vicky. And when you're ready, take your time. Palms to the floor. Tuck the left toes. Kick the right leg up and back. And any adjustments you wish to make, vinyasa, shift forward. Any vinyasa. Could be traditional as Vix is doing. Could be legs lifted. Could be knees down. Or you can skip it. I don't mind. From your downward facing dog, shift the gaze to the top of the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose once more. Very nice. So in this Utkatasana, you will have an option from here, whether you choose to work to Bakasana, crow pose, or whether you're going to be taking a forward fold once more for flexibility. So those of you going into crow, I'm going to come with you. So yes, that's it. She shifts her hips nice and high, knees to the backs of the triceps. Look forward, lean forward. That's it. So the more you look forward, the less likely you are to fall down. The pulling the heels in toward the buttocks, really point the feet actively. Option 2, spring back, step back. Oh, good morning. Take your flow when you're ready. Good work, downward facing dog. Nice. Take an inhale through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. My forward folders, of course, if you've not met us yet, we'll see you in down dog. When you're ready, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, peel open the hip. That's it, good work. Keeping the shoulders nice and square, feeling that opening up through that hip area. Take an inhale, knee to nose, exhale. Kick back, in breath. Touch the left arm. Kick back. To the opposite arm. Thread it through. Fallen triangle. That right arm reaches up. Very good. Right hand to the floor. Now stay here for a moment. Square off through the shoulders. Feel that spinal twist and lift your hips a little higher. Yes, for 3, 2, left leg. Inhale, kicks up and back. Well done, Vix. From here, bring the foot through, kneeling lunge. Good work. Yes, Vicky's doing a very kind thing for her knees and patting her knee with the mat. Do you want a towel, Vix, for your knee? No? All right, cool. No, it's just the floorboard sometimes with a thin mat. You feel it. All right, from here, arms reaching up, shoulders drop away from the ears. From here, left arm back, right arm forward, open twist. And back through center, inhale. Other way. Good, that's it. Right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Exhale, close. Good. And open. Sorry, I got the breathing wrong there. Good. Sorry, Vix. And up through center. Sorry, everyone. And exhale, open. Good. Through center. And last one. Other way. Very good. Now back up through center. Hands to heart. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, twist. So working into that slightly deeper ringing twist. Notice your breath. Yeah, how's your neck? Good adjustment. Not over. It's very easy to effort in twists into your neck. One more. Very good. Hands to the floor. Loads of twists today. Frame that front foot. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Very good. From here, sweep the left arm to the back of the room as you straighten. And you're working those rolling movements to open up. Yes, that's it, Vic. So forward on the inhale, and on the exhale, straighten out the leg and sweep back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. And seeing if you can make it one smooth, long circle. That's it. Good. Exhale to come back. Inhale to open. Good. That's it. One more full circle. Bend. And the next time you straighten, you're lengthening back. And from here, you might need to adjust your right hand underneath your shoulder. The left hand reaches up toward the ceiling, and you're working into that spinal twist. It's a kneeling revolved pyramid. So for you, you're observing whether it feels good to stay open there, whether it feels good to place the left palm on the low back or half bind or whatever it is that feels right. So that right hand, you might be on the fingertips, you might be on the palm, or you might even be pressing the back of your right hand against the outside of your left leg. So you might be working into a bit further a twist. Good. For 3, for 2. Well done. When you're ready, both hands frame that front foot, bend into the knee, lizard. Wiggle that left foot outside the left hand. So your choice here, are you going to stay in that lovely hip opener, or are you going to bend that right knee, sweep that left hand back and work into the hip and quad? And if you're taking hold of that foot, it's really up to you whether you're pulling the heel in toward the butt, whether you're kicking the foot back, whatever feels best. Look after that neck. For 3, for 2. Release both hands to the floor, tuck the right toes, kick the left leg up and back. Very good. Unravel your mat. And in your own time, flow of choice. Beautiful. Downward facing dog you meet. Take an inhale through the nose, through the mouth. Up to you if you're going to add the tongue out. Inhale, lion's breath. Inhale, let it out. Good. Shift the gaze to the top of the mat and Utkatasana, chair pose once more. Very good. Find your seat. Lovely. Hands to heart. You inhale. And exhale, twist to the right. Now the twist is optional. If you'd rather stay at center for chair and then take a forward fold, do as you feel you need. So with this twist, it's entirely up to you if you're sticking with revolve or if you're feeling interested in working toward a revolve or twisted crow today. It's not an essential. So Vicky, it's entirely up to you. Yeah, she's keen. Good. So if you're working into that crow, good. You get those hips nice and low to the earth. And you see that Vix has her head quite low to the earth. She's looking to the left. Nice. Yes, option to straighten the legs. Why not? So you really need to be shifting the weight off the mat. So the hands move quite a bit away from your mat and then you lower onto the arms. That's it. And beautiful. Good. Fair enough. Fair enough. Take a forward fold between sides. It's really just an experiment. And some sessions, guys, maybe in a masterclass, if you're keen on it, I will actually break down more into some of those arm balances. I know Casey's already done one masterclass on arm balances. Beautiful. We are going to work into the second side. So take your time. Utkatasana, remembering that you can always stick with chair and forward fold, or even a squat if you prefer, guys. From here, revolving to the left, and in your own time, if you're adding in the crow, it's optional to side crow. The hands come off the side of the mat. You keep nice and low to the earth, and that's it. Feet might lift, and yes, you might work for the split side crow. It's like a Kundanyasana variation for 3, for 2. Well done. When you're ready, take a forward fold between sides, everybody. Just let that head hang. All right, so between our kneeling mobility flow and our standing flow, I just want you to take a moment to come down into either a toe stand, a Japanese seat, or even a squat if you prefer a squat. Vicky, unfortunately, you're going to be working for us because you're going to be demonstrating the fallen triangle to corkscrew transition. Okay. So sometimes, guys, I would just do this in a class and not give you any warning. I'm going to give you warning today, and Vicky's going to give us an example. So as you're now observing Vicky, I want you to spin yourself toward the camera. So yes, Vic, so if you can face toward this way, just so we can see the shift of weight. Downward facing dog. So we're not going to show the touching all the arms or the other arm. We're just going to go to the fallen triangle part. So inhale, the right leg lifts. Peel open the hip, bend the knee. Very good. Now knee to the opposite arm. She threads the foot through for her fallen triangle. That part's familiar. Left hand reaches up toward the ceiling. So this is where I want you to observe in detail the difference. Cass says, go Vicky. Left hand, thanks Cass. Left hand to the floor. Shift the weight onto the left hand. And then the right arm reaches up to the ceiling. So she shifts the weight, and you see the ball of her back foot is now rather than the blade of the foot. And then bring the hand back down to the floor. So there's a shift of weight. Kick that leg up and back, Vix. Good. Nice. Bring the foot to the floor. And poor Vicky, we're going to do the second side to keep her even. Inhale, left leg lifts. Good. That's it. Now, peel open the hip. Bend the knee. Good. Now, knee to the opposite arm. Thread it through, fallen triangle. So if you can see her back foot, which you can, she's on the sole of the foot. Now she places that hand to the floor, shifts the weight to the right hand. Big shift of weight. Now she's on the ball of the back foot and reaches to ceiling. Good. And then hand to the floor. And that, my friends, is corkscrew. Good. All right. You feel really wrung out when you do it, don't you? It's good. Upper back. Hello. All right, well, let's have a play, guys. And Sash, see how you go. It is upper back, but see how your breakfast is sitting. All right. Well done. How are your arms? How are your wrists, Vic? Ready to go again? Yeah, all right. Yes. Good work. Down dog. So from down dog, this time, inhale, right leg lifts. Instead of bending the knee first, peel open the hip with a straight leg as much as you can, then bend the knee. For me, that gets deeper into the hip flexors. Good. One more inhale. Knee to nose. Exhale. Kick back. In breath. Knee to touch the right arm. Exhale. Kick back. Knee to opposite arm. Thread the foot through. Fallen triangle. Left arm reaches up. Good. Now left hand to floor. Shift the weight over onto that left hand and come onto the ball of that left foot. Right hand reaches to ceiling. How you going, guys? Good work. Right hand to floor. Kick the right leg up and back. And warrior one. Good. Right foot comes through. Back heel down. So a lot of the time it scrambles people's brains a little bit to do that one. Let me know afterward how you went. It's always an interesting one. So Vicky's a beautiful example of someone who manages to get a really deep stance in her warrior one, but we might need to soon shorten it. We'll see how she goes. Oh, she's already shortening it. Yeah. We'll see how you go. I want to see if you're comfortable, because for me, I have to keep a short stance to be nice and stable in the twist. So I want you from here, everybody, to straighten up your right leg. Bring your right hand to your sacrum, right hand to your low back. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Take an inhale, revolve pyramid, exhale. Yeah, good. So noticing if you can keep your hips stable and square. So your right hip might have hitched up toward your right shoulder. Can you wrap that right hip back away from your shoulder? Good work. That's it. So you have an option here, and this is one of the reasons why a deeper stance might be a little harder. We're working now into revolve half moon as an option. Yes, that looks much more stable, Vix. I kind of like this one better. I want you from here to now, optional layer. It's always optional. Shift the weight now forward into your left hand. Move that left hand in front of you and lift that back leg off. Opening up through the chest, and of course, if you wish to bend that back knee and take hold of the foot, you can work into that full Ardha Chandrasana revolve. Good work. For 3, for 2, warrior 2. Unravel and roll open. Well done, everybody. So don't worry if you weren't going to that final balance pose. It was entirely optional. Straightening up that right leg. Good. Turn the feet parallel. Hands on your hips. We're taking a Parivrtta Ardha here. So feet turn in slightly rather than turning out. That's it. And you take that forward fold. So just taking a moment before we add anything in to just let the head hang. How's your breath? So we're going to do something a little bit tricky here. So I want you to come into corkscrew again, but from a different direction. So you're going to now walk your hands toward the top of your mat. And yes, en route, you'll frame that front foot and you'll come onto the ball of your back foot. So your feet keep pivoting. Walk your hands now toward the other direction. Good, that's it. And roll onto the pinky blades of both feet. Good, so you now have a deep squeeze between your thighs, a deep wringing of the spine. Now that might be enough, or left hand stays down, right arm reaches up. Oh, I know, deep corkscrew for 3, for 2. Well done. Both hands come back to the top of the mat. Plant the palms, kick the right leg up and back, and either just 3-legged dog to stretch, or of course you can flip the dog if you're wanting to work there. Otherwise, I just want you to come back into some form of recovery, whether it's down dog, child's pose, or even dolphin. Breathe. Take a reset. Breathe into your back. You might observe the waist or observe the back and notice if one side's a little bit different to the other. Yes, Sash, I hope that breakfast is sitting all right after that. Hope you still love me. Oops. Good, good work. When you're ready, back to your downward facing dog. Lovely. From your downward facing dog, I want you to shift the gaze toward the hands, malasana, squat, just as a little interval, everybody. So we're not going to be adding anything in here. I just want you to treat this as an interval to come off the arms, to love the hips, maybe close the eyes and breathe. How's the jaw? How are the muscles of the face? One more full deep breath. And when you're ready, take a forward fold. Booty the sky. Let your feet turn in somewhat. Good work. Slowly, slowly. Roll up through standing. Arms reach up and wide. Inhale, good morning. And exhale, you fold all the way down. Take a half lift in breath. Exhale, step or float back. You can keep the flow, you can skip the flow. Down dog is the destination. Yeah, as you know, we're doing quite a bit of arms, so we're going to save them perhaps. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Now keep the legs straight. First, peel open the hip and then bend the knee. Perhaps it's a little different to what we did before. Perhaps it pulls more into what feels like your left side of your stomach, probably into your psoas. Take an inhale. Knee to your nose on your exhale. Kick back your in-breath to your left arm. Exhale. Kick back to the opposite arm. Fallen triangle. Thread the foot through. Right arm reaches up. Good. So it doesn't have to be the deepest split fallen triangle you've ever done. Very good. Now right hand to the floor. You shift the weight over onto the right hand and onto the ball of the back foot. Left arm reaches up. So it's a weight shift. Deep spinal twist. Yes, a lot into the upper back. Left arm reaching up. 3, 2. Left hand to the floor. Kick that left leg up and back. Good work. Bring the left foot through. Warrior 1. Back heel down. Arms reach up. So some of you will find that depending on the flexibility of your pelvis and your hips or your natural structure, for me it's a natural structure issue, I find that I keep my legs closer together because then I can wrap my left hip back and my right hip forward better. Vicky's quite comfortable keeping her pelvis quite square with a deeper stance. So really wrapping that left hip back, and I want you to remember that. Straighten that left leg, left hand to your sacrum. Right arm reaches forward beyond the top of the mat and you twist. So working into that revolved pyramid. And yes, you might have needed to step that back foot in a little bit like Vic's. Left arm might reach up and open to the ceiling if you want, or it might stay upon your sacrum, as Vic's is doing beautifully here. Option from here to now add the balance pose. You now move the hand beyond the top of your mat. Shift the weight forward, right leg lifts, and working into your revolve. Left hand might be on your sacrum, might be toward the ceiling. And remembering that if you're finding the floor is quite far away, you can always use your block or a prop under your hand. Ardha Chandra, you might be bending the knee for Chapasana, taking hold of the foot with the left hand and spinning that heart open to the left for 3, for 2, Warrior 2. Let that foot release, unravel back. Very good. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Straightening up the left leg. Feet turn parallel. Hands on your hips. Lengthen up on the inhale. Exhale, Parivrtta, you fold. Good work. Let that neck release. So from here, we now start walking the hands via the top of the mat, keeping the legs straight at first for corkscrew. Now walking the hands outside that left leg. Keep walking, walking. Pivot onto the pinky blades of both feet. Good. So we're really working into other bands of the hamstrings as well. Good. Maybe the left arm reaches up and you twist open a little further. Good. For 3. For 2. Good. Both hands to the floor. Kick that left leg up and back. You might have peeled open the hip and bent the knee for a flip or a hold or a stretch. When you're ready, you'll take your time, you'll flow, or you'll rest. You can choose child's pose, heart-melting pose. I know some of you are still feeling like you need more. Of course, you can take a dolphin or do anything you need. Otherwise, just lengthening out, observing your breath, observing your waist, observing your spine. It's been not only an unusual practice for your body in certain ways, because we're doing twists that we don't do every practice, these corkscrew twists, but also it's been a challenging one for the mind and the focus, because you are doing postures that are less familiar. So it's really good to just allow this brain activity now, time to settle, to soften. Taking 1 or 2 more deep breaths in this pose of choice. When you are ready, down dog very briefly to pigeon pose on the right hand side is the destination. So the right leg will lift, right knee comes toward the right wrist, And you might take time to stay upright and work back bends, etc. But today I'm kind of more interested in coming down, and literally coming down, letting yourself recover. We're taking this last 10 or so minutes of the practice to really start to now take care of the nervous system, find some space for the mind. Noticing if there is a tendency for the mind to wander off. Because you've been moving and I've been holding your concentration, most probably for the practice otherwise, and now you're in a nice familiar still, or not really still, you're still breathing and the body is still cellularly moving, but your body thinks you are still. Your mind thinks you are still, and so it gets a little bit busy sometimes, or a little bit bored. Focus on your breath as intently as you would focus on all the movements that we have done already. Take one more full deep breath in your pigeon and really let it go on the exhale. And then just in your own time, you might press up to your palms. Let your right hip or glute drop to the floor and sweep your left leg to the front of the mat. Very good. Janusasana, the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. You might lengthen up through the spine on the inhale, and on the exhale, lengthen forward and over that leg, Janusasana. And doesn't matter whether your hands are on the floor or holding leg, holding foot, really just do what's comfortable. If you want to use your strap or tie of your robe, you can also do that. But really, I want you to observe, most importantly, if the neck is comfortable, the shoulders are comfortable. We don't want to be efforting through those areas. The ideal here is length through the hamstrings, length through the spine. That's our goal. Two more deep breaths. And when you're ready, slowly sitting up, lengthening out that right leg in front. Very good. You're going to shift the weight back onto your hands, knees in towards the chest. You're going to rock over ankles, rock over crossed ankles, and go over, down dog. Sorry, I didn't give very good clear cue there, Vix. How'd you go, guys? Was that confusing? All right, beautiful. Inhale, left leg lifts. Pigeon pose. Beautiful. So from this pigeon posture, some of you are just taking it straight into the recline. I know some of you enjoy your upright and your back bends. Go nuts. But first and foremost, make sure there is time to lengthen the breath. Lengthen through the muscles of the hips, the glutes, and let the nervous system soften. So if you notice that mind starts to wander, I want you to focus on the exhale and focus on letting go of that thought with the exhale. Let it out, let it go. It might not serve you at this point in time. It might be a useful thought for later. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles of the face. One more full deep breath. And then when you're ready, take your time to walk your hands in toward you. There's no rush. Shifting the weight onto the left buttock and sweeping the right leg to the front of the mat for the right leg long, left leg short to the inner thigh. Janusasana, seated forward fold. Take your time to lengthen and exhale, fold forward. The goal is space through spine, space through hamstrings, and what you do with your hands, your shoulders and neck is hopefully keeping them nice and soft, no effort. Two more deep, deep breaths. Well done. Slowly, slowly, in your own time, sitting up, walking the hands in, lengthening both legs out in front. And we are going to take our time to lower onto our backs. No rush. So very briefly, we might be working into legs up the wall, or perhaps using a block or a prop underneath your sacrum if you prefer to work there. Of course, some of you are working shoulder stand, and I won't guide that one too much today because I know those of you who like your shoulder stand and like your plow, you know what you're doing, and it's only going to be a short sequence today. So I want you to go at your own pace, but otherwise a little bit of legs up the wall, or if you're like Vix in the middle of the room, legs to the ceiling, and you can, but it's not essential to have the hips slightly elevated. And just really allow the muscles of the face to melt back into the skull. The jaw softens. The eyes soften. Deep breaths. Notice if the mind has started to wander off a little bit. Can you focus on letting that thought go on your exhale? If some of you have really just come into a comfortable place with legs up the wall, you can stay there. Those of you who are in shoulder stand sequences, I want you to take your time to slowly come out. When you're ready, we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. Yes, you might need to remove any props from underneath you. Take your time. So you've done a lot of active twisting. And so a very gentle supine twist is what we might add in, whether you're going to keep the knees together, or whether you're going to hug the right knee into the chest and stretch the left leg out long, or whether you want to do twisted roots and wrap the legs. I don't mind. Follow your instincts, Vicky, whatever it is you'd like to do. So when you're ready, gently dropping the legs to the right-hand side, or whichever side. You know you're going to get both in anyway. So just allowing those muscles that you worked strongly today in really active twisting postures to just have a gentle release in a similar position, but less active version. And then in your own time, through center, and legs off to the other side. Shavasana will be the destination, whether you choose to come back through center and hug the legs once more or add anything else in. Shavasana is where we're headed. If you want to put anything to get warm, feel free. So just 3 gentle cleansing breaths here. I want you to take an inhale through the nose, release through the mouth, and again, inhale, let it go. Once more in, release. And just allow your body to soften. So in this afternoon's practice, I'll be working with some of you who are going to be doing Yin and Buddhist meditation masterclass, and we'll be focusing a little more deeply on not only the Buddhist teachings, but on how to observe the mind. Vipassana, investigation, observing perhaps the stories of the mind that come up. Techniques for meditation to keep ourselves a little more centered and less agitated. And then I'll start feeding them through the practices in weeks to come. I want you, in your own time, to bring a little bit of movement into your fingers, your toes. And you just start to bring that movement into the rest of the body. So whatever feels inviting, whether it feels good to lengthen out and stretch. And then when you are ready, you might roll over via your right hand side. And slowly, pressing your way up to seat. Allowing the shoulders to relax, face to relax. Close the eyes. Take an inhale through the nose. Sigh out, let it go. Bring your palms together. Namaste.